everyone. So in today's video we are going to discuss how to create a table using uh, MySQL Workbench or HeidiSQL and insert data into the tables using insert data SQL queries. So here we have our question number 5. The Board of Directors of New Vision Academy has decided to computerize the information of all the teachers in the educational institution. The software is being developed by Tharaka Software Solution. Assume that you are working as a senior software engineer in this company and you and your team are responsible for creating the database of this software. Create the database according to the instructions given to you as follows. Create a database called New Vision Academy to teachers data. So here we are asked to create a table. The software has a table named teacher to store teachers data. Follow the instructions given below to create it. So the teacher registration number Vacha 10, first name Vacha 45, last name Vacha 45, gender Vacha 10, contact number Vacha 10, and the email Vacha 50. So question number 3, enter the data shown in the table in the database table you have set up above. Do not use the graphical method when entering the data here. All data must be entered from the query statements. So first we have to create this table here, and then we are going to add in our query statements. So let's move on to create our database table. So here we have HeidiSQL software, and here I'm going to create a new database, name new underscore vision underscore academy. And we have created a database, and now we are going to add in our software our table. So here I'm going to create a new table named teacher. So all of these columns are going to be of the type Vacha. So I'm going to keep this Vacha. Teacher registration number of Vacha 10. I'm going to keep this as the primary key. Then we have the first name Vacha 45, last name same, then the gender Vacha 10, then the contact number Vacha 10, and finally the email Vacha 50. So I'm going to click on save. So they're saying that the invalid default value, so I'm going to keep it as no default value and click on save. So none of these values can be null. So I'm going to set this all as no default value. And save. And now our table has been saved. So now what we have to do next is to insert our queries into this table. So it's going to be an insert into query. So here we have to have our table name. So our first our database New Vision Academy, and then our table name dot teacher, and then within brackets we have the table columns. So teacher, registration number, then we have first name, so basically we don't need to have these quote marks. Then the last name, gender, contact number, and email. I'm going on to our next line. I'm going to type on values. So here I'm going to copy in the values which we had in our question. So Control C from there. So basically here what we have to do is add in quote marks, and then adding quote marks between all of these. So I'm going to copy this again to application. Okay, so we have, I think we have 10 entries, so I am going to copy this 8 more times. 1 2 3 4, we have 10 entries, so copying this 8 more times. Let's see if we have 8 entries. So now we have 10 entries. So next I'm going to copy in the data and paste them. So now all the data has been copied, but we can't run our queries just yet. So what we need to do is to add in the commas between our data. So we have the first name and comma last name, So basically these are the values, and here we have to add commas like this for the rest of this as well. So like this we have another 7 more rows to go, 7 more rows of data. So our table has been definitely created, but the data is what is annoying, I think. We have to complete this for the next 6 users now. Let's see, I'm going to use the mouse now and we'll see if we can get any faster. So another 5 more to go. I think we made an error here. Okay, now that's correct. So basically we should be having only one first name and one last name according to the data which we have been given. If it is more than that, then we are going to run into error in our program, and we have a limit of 45 for the names, so we have to make sure that our names are not longer than 45 characters as well. If it is longer than 45, then there will be an error saying could not add, and it will say what the error was exactly, and the error should be the fact that there is no space left to add that data into the table. So another few more left. Two more rows. It would have been much more easier to type this out. And now we are into our final row of data, and going to click on running the query once we are done with this. So I think our punctuation marks are in the correct places, so we won't be running into any errors regarding that. So yeah, that is it, and I'm going to click on play, and there is something wrong. So the column count does not match the value count at the row 1. So let's see column count. So column count. So basically our data has been added, but not all of it. So what has gone wrong? Our first name, our last name, our gender, contact and email. So all of these have first name, last name, gender, contact, email, first name, last name, gender, contact, email, first name, last name, gender, contact, email. So basically there should be 10 values, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means the 2 values haven't been entered here. So the entries which haven't appeared are, so we have up till 11, 12. So basically 35 and 45 are missing. So we have an error when it comes to that. And let's see 35. So here this is a problem here. I have forgotten to add a comma and nothing beyond that point has been added. So let's go back to the data. I'm going to click on deleting all of these rows. Delete. So deleting all the selected rows. Going back to our query and I'm going to execute it again. So you have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds. Use double quotes. So that means I have entered double quotes somewhere where I'm not supposed to. Double quotes, no double quotes here, nothing here. So if I go check the table anyways, the data, it hasn't been added. So let's check our code again and see if we have any errors one by one. So our first row we have nothing wrong, our second row we have nothing wrong. So everything was correct until 8th and 9th rows. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to check our 8th and 9th rows, the other rows again, but I'll check it anyway just to see in case if there is anything wrong there as well. So here are the names. The problem with this is that they don't even say where the error is, so it's hard to find it. Or maybe I can try executing all this line by line, which should be easier. So I might as well execute it line by line. So I'm going to cut this all. Control X, Control C again, Control X, Control V, Control X. So there is a duplicate entry. So I have to delete all these again, deleting all of it, and I'm going to enter it one by one this time. So it has been added. Control V, cutting this part off now, adding this, Control V, cutting this part now, Control X, Control V, Control X, Control V, Control X, run, 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 Control V. So it's the last line. The quotation mark is out. Okay, and I'm going to run this, and now I'm going to check our data, refresh our tables. So basically now we have everything added here using our SQL queries. So I'm sorry that I made a few errors here, and so that's what the problem here with database management. You have to be really careful when you're adding your data, and especially the SQL queries. So make sure that all the commands are in place and that everything is done perfectly. So that is the end of this question which we were discussing, and this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.